Hello and welcome to Doubles and Trebles. It's time for another weekend racing preview, our first in a fortnight actually. We didn't have one last week due to adverse weather conditions. As is the routine at Doubles and Trebles, we'll only do it if Adam actually fancies something. Won't just do it, put it up for the sake of it. And do appreciate the comments asking if there's one coming and stuff. It's nice to know that a handful of people are interested at least. But anyway, before we crack on with this weekend, we should really touch on our previous racing preview, which, as I say, 2 weeks ago. But that means we haven't really had time to brag about the results that we had. A very rare occasion where we banged in the winners. Credit to Adam, who had selections at 4-1, 9-2, and a whopping 18-1. All win from his 6 picks. So I mean, if you're following them on the singles, you're an absolute mile ahead on the day. So good work there, Adam.
Yeah, it was a good day. Hopefully more to come. But as we do often say here, it doesn't happen often. So hence why we're just reveling a little bit in the glory, but not too much.
Yeah, that's in the rearview mirror now, though. I want to go forward on another big day from you. And moving on to this Saturday, I mean, I think it's fair to say the racing probably isn't as good a quality as it was 2 weeks ago, but still, there's some stuff there to chew on. We've got Haydock is probably the meeting of our focus because there's a couple of Group 3s there and a listed race. We do also have Beverley and Chester on the agenda, but I think it's fair to say probably not as appealing. But Beverley's looking like heavy ground as we speak, and Chester, well, anyone that watches this channel regularly will know we don't really do Chester. So I've got to gloss right over that. Start with Haydock, 145, massive handicap, 16 runners, 6 furlongs. This looks like your kind of pie.
Yeah, certainly is pie, man. Yeah, first things first, it was heavy at Haydock last week for their last Saturday fixture. So that's why we abandoned the preview altogether. It is soft officially still now. There is a little bit of rain forecast on Friday, but nothing too significant. So yeah, starting with the 145, the handicap. Capote's dream has been a revelation since joining Tom Ward this season. His 3 wins and a second this year. Did start the year on all weather. Was campaigning in Ireland last year. Tom Ward's brought him over and he's racking up some wins and flew up the handicap. He's on a mark of 83 now, but that might not be enough to stop him. He's up there at the top of the market, 5-1 ish. I was looking a bit further down in this one, Pine Man, and since I wrote my notes, obviously there's been a sea of blue for the horse that I've picked out, unfortunately.
Obviously.
So, yeah, Hyperfocus was one fully exposed horse. I think he's 8 years old now, but 5 career wins. 3 of them have come at Haydock on soft or heavy ground. So one of which was at a slightly higher grade. This is a Class 3. Hyperfocus was won a Class 2 at Haydock in soft. That was last September. He's only £1 higher now than he was that day. He's had a few losses since, so he's come back down a little bit, but he's only £1 higher than his last win, which was at Haydock on soft ground. He was 20-1 when I first looked. I thought that was a lovely each way bet, but as the boys that offer enhanced places have entered the market, when you get more places, you get a shorter price. So he's 16-1, 4 places available. Hyperfocus. You can get 6 places at 14-1 as well. So if he's fit and ready to go after a blowout at York a couple of weeks ago where he didn't pull up any trees, if that strips him a bit fitter and he's ready to go here, I think Hyperfocus could have an half decent chance. Like I say, around the 16-1 mark, worth an each way poke.
And would you recommend the 6 places, or would it be the 4 for you?
Yeah.
You would,
no, if you can get 14-1 6 places, that would definitely be of interest. Yeah.
Does seem like the logical way to go with that one. So yeah, there is one to play 6 places on the race. So do have a look around. Always important to check the place terms and stuff especially when you're handling that kind of price. But yeah, big each way price selection to get us started. And the last one of them won, of course. So here's to another one. Up in grade, I think we go next to the Achilles Stakes. Achilles Stakes listed race, 220. I think it's over the minimum distance, 5 furlongs. So what are we thinking here?
Well, 12 runners, 4-1 the field. It's wide open. I'm torn between 2, Pine Man, and I think the script is written for the wrong horse, if you like, to win. El Astronaute is the most logical selection by far. He's 4-1 in the market, just heads favouritism. He's the highest rated horse in the race. He likes soft ground. He won well last time at Chester, but he is an 8-year-old now, and 2 of his last 4 runs have been stinkers. Although he did win last time, 2 of his last 4 have been stinkers, so he's either hit or miss, very much so on his last few starts. So maybe there's some inconsistencies coming in his form as he gets a little bit older. He's a horse I've always struggled to get right, to be honest. So the writing's on the wall because despite what I've just said, I'm going to oppose him. And I'm going to oppose him with King's Lynn. who's about 6-1 in the market. 4 places are available, so I wouldn't mind backing it each way at 6-1 Kings Lynn, just in case the obvious happens and El Astronaute wins. He's quite a long way behind El Astronaute on figures, but he is only a 4-year-old, so he's got his ceiling's a lot higher, if you like, and he's definitely more unexposed and got potential. Kings Lynn has attracted plenty of betting support on his 2 starts this year. He's finished 3rd and 2nd. I've not backed him ever, I don't think. But yeah, he's finished 3rd and 2nd. He's got a bit of support both times. He's been ridden by, the likes of Oisin Murphy, trained by Andrew Baldwin, who's been amongst the winners. So that's why he's come in for plenty of support. He was campaigned over further last season, but he's been back down to 5, and they look to be sticking with it. They actually raced against each other last time, Kings Lynn and El Astronaute. El Astronaute absolutely blasted out of the stalls like a bullet out of a gun at Chester over that 5-furlong trip, got to the front, never looked back. I mean, it's a typical Chester story, to be honest. But yeah, Kings Lynn, he was finishing quite well, and I still think he's learning at the game, to be honest, Pymon. And I think this straighter, more straightforward track at Haydock, if you like, will see him to his best, and I think he can close the gap on El Astronaute and possibly get in front of him. So 6-1 each way, Kings Lynn, 4 places.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 places available here with certain suppliers. So yeah, that'll be a nice little each way. He's still going to turn a profit over if he does finish inside the first 4. Possibly on an upward curve, the horse. So I quite like that selection. We'll move on to the 2 Group 3 races then, starting with the Pinnacle Stakes, run over 1.5 miles. This is for the female horses, and just the 6 runners declared, so quite a small field. But where would your money be here?
I like this race. This is the best bet of the day coming up here, Pieman. Oriental Mystique. I actually tweeted this yesterday on Thursday from the Doubles and Trebles account when the entries first came out and the prices first came out. She was chalked up at 3-1, and I thought, oh, I can see that price going to me, but it's still there. It's still there. So 3-1 is still there. Yeah, I do quite like her. I'd have her closer to favouritism. There is a 6-4 favourite in there from the Roger Varian yard that we'll come on to. But yeah, Oriental Mystique raced at both 10 and 12 furlongs last year as a 3-year-old, but her best form was over the longer trip, which she gets today at Haydock. This is over 12 furlongs. No problem with the softer ground. Of the 3 at the top of market, she actually prefers the softer ground over the other 2, to be honest, La Lune and Cabaletta. Oriental Mystique ran perfectly well on seasonal reappearance at Goodwood, where she had the door closed on her late on. Otherwise, she would have been closer than the 1-length third. She might not have won, but she would have been closer than the 1-length third. Like I said, the winner actually just drifted towards the rail, and the jockey Jim Crowley rode her that day at Goodwood. Oriental Mystique just had to check his stride for a couple of seconds. Obviously, that didn't help. Oriental Mystique's mother got better with age. She was better at 1.5 miles. And yeah, so she ticks a lot of boxes to me. Cabaletta, the 6-4 favourite, has underperformed on her last 3 starts and looks to be going backwards to me, whereas I think Oriental Mystique's going forwards. It wouldn't surprise me if Cabaletta was not favourite when the gates open. Like I say, 3-1, best bet of the day.
There you go then. And if that does indeed shorten on the day, what would you say that a value price is? Where would you draw the line on Oriental Mystique, do you think?
2, I'd probably go as low as 2, yeah. I can see both Cabaletta and Oriental Mystique being anywhere between 15-8 and 9-4, both the pair of them. I think 6-4 on Cabaletta is too short.
Well, there you go. And yeah, as we speak on Friday morning, there is still a bit of 3-1 about. So hopefully by the time you see this, you could still get involved with that one if it takes your fancy. Moving it on then to the final race we're going to look at in detail today. That's a Group 3 John Gaunt Stakes over 7 furlongs, 9 runners. So there should be a bit of each way value. Can you find it?
This I wasn't as strong on this race, Pieman. It wasn't through lack of trying with the 9 runners. This is normally a race that attracts us at doubles and trebles. But yeah, similar to the Achilles Stakes we mentioned earlier. For the same trainer actually, Safe Voyage would be the obvious choice. He's got the ground, the trip. He's got wins at this level. He's got quite a lot in his favour. He's the 11-4 favourite. He is clear on official ratings, but carries a £5 penalty because he won a Group 2 last September. Now this is a Group 3, so as a result of stepping down in grade, he carries a penalty. So that kind of levels the playing field somewhat. With Thanks is the second favourite. Again, it's a very similar story to the earlier race. Safe Voyage is 8 years old. With Thanks is 4-year-old. Is a 4-year-old, and as you can tell, I do get attracted to these unexposed horses. you know, and hoping that they can improve, sometimes to my detriment. But yeah, with Thanks as the much more unexposed profile, just 5 starts to his name, 3 wins and 2 seconds. I mean, he's solid as you like. It culminated last year with a 5-length Group 3 win in Ireland on heavy going. Now, it wasn't the best of Group 3s ever, but he did, you know, it's a good win by 5 lengths. This will be his first start of the 2021 season. William Haggis has been amongst the runners. I mean, I'd give him a go at 100 to 30 in that kind of range. But like I say, it's 7-2 best price. It wouldn't be my most confident selection. And this goes against most things what I adhere to, but you can get 4 places each way at 7-2. Now I'm not saying for a single, but if you're getting in with the trebles, Pine Man, you know, if you're getting in with the trebles, I mean, I'm looking at a treble with Kings Lynn, I'm going to get 6 places. Sorry, the wrong race. I'm looking at Kings Lynn, I'm going to get 4 places, and then I'm looking at With Thanks, I'm going to get 4 places as well. I mean, it's just a bit of safety there, to be honest. Yeah. But you know, I've got a bit of credit in the bank, Pine Man. We had winners the last time I spoke to you, so I've got some credit to be a bit more safety first approach this week.
Yeah, With Thanks 10-3, 7-2-ish, and I can understand it certainly on the multiple front. You know, you would be returning a small loss on a single, but once you're getting that involved with a double line and a treble line, it makes a big difference, and that does nicely tie us on to what the double and treble is. But I think it's just worth saying, Adam, normally at this point I would ask you whether you've got any other selections, but not a vintage day of racing.
No, there's unfortunately not. I mean, it's funny. I say that we avoid Chester. I've actually got a tracker runner at Chester called Al Shibley, which
you should probably flag that up for when it wins. You know.
Yeah, which I might back as a single. But the comment was big eye catcher on debut, likely to be well found in the market. It'll be favourite, so I'm not going to. And it's at Chester, but that's one I'll be keeping an eye on for anyone that wants to keep an eye on. Al Shibley is in the 425 at Chester, but I won't be making an official selection on that one, to be fair. But yeah, it's a little bit quiet, Pine Man, given that the you know, it's the Derby next week, and then, you know, soon after that it's Royal Ascot as well. So that really does the top class action really does start coming thick and fast in the coming days and weeks. So yeah, just to outline the bets in the 145, we were looking at Hyperfocus, 6 places, 14-1 each way. Then in the 220, we're looking at Kings Lynn, 4 places, which is 6-1 each way. And then we're going to so to round off the each way selection, we'll be going to the 330 With Thanks, which is 100 to 30, and you can get 4 places each way with Sky Bet. So that would, if you play in the each way trebles or the each way there, with the couple of them being short prices. But the best bet of the week and the win bet would be definitely Oriental Mystique 3-1 win only in the 255 at Haydock. But I'll detail all the selections that will be going on the official doubles and trebles spreadsheet in the description below.
So there you are then, Oriental Mystique 3-1 is the nap for tomorrow. We do have a double and a treble up for you, and there's even 4 selections if you want a lucky 15 and you just want something to follow for the day. That could be the way to go. It's certainly in fine form. Last time we did this a couple of Saturdays ago, so hopefully another good day awaits for Adam. And as he says, plenty coming on in the coming days. We've got an Epsom Oaks preview already up there if you fancy a look at that ahead to that race, which is, you know, roughly a week away now. We've got the Derby preview coming up, which I'm sure is going to be popular. We've also got our Royal Ascot first look, which has been popular. So if you like looking at your racing in advance, there's plenty there for you. If you like a bit more than racing, we've got darts content up there. We've got golf content up there. We've got some plans for a dip into the football market in the coming weeks and months. So there's a little bit of everything going on. So please do give us a subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, and a comment below with your selections is always appreciated. We'll see you again very soon.
Cheers.